Well, it's saying I'm back on Twitch, so that's something. Still not too sure about YouTube, though. Okay. I think it has me back on here. I can't tell. Well, that's depressing. This is very weird because I normally have a really good internet connection until apparently I go to try to stream and then it just goes bananas. No clue why. Absolutely no clue. Oh, says I have 3 viewers. Hey, I'll take it. I have no idea what happened to my internet there. It went kind of crazy. So, not really sure on that. But yeah, over here talking about mental health, talking about my journey with receiving mental health care, and the fundraising that I'm doing today for World Suicide Prevention Day tomorrow. To Write Love on Our Arms is the organization that I am partnering with to do the fundraising, and they provide help to teens and young adults to try to make sure that they know how to get help, what help looks like, what mental illness looks like, because like I was saying earlier, it doesn't always look like what we see in like films and in TV. And so just showing what mental health looks like for or mental illness looks like for just like your average person is extremely important. So they do that a lot through their blog post. So that way if someone like identifies with something, then they'll be like, okay, well, that person was able to get help. Maybe I can get help too. And then, hopefully their life will be a little bit easier after that. I have actually had 4 suicide attempts in the past. Thankfully, all were unsuccessful. Not for my lack of trying, it seems like, but I'm very glad and very grateful to still be here and to still be alive today. But it is kind of rough sometimes. I had been doing fairly well, and in the past year or so, my mental health started going back down. So earlier this year, I actually reached back out and got back into counseling, and then in April, I got back on medication. So, yeah, it's been an interesting few months for everyone, I am sure, because, it's, we've all been dealing with the pandemic. We've all been dealing with a lot of, quarantining and isolation and anxiety over, the state of the world right now. And so I kind of wanted to share a little bit about, my story. I live with anxiety, I live with chronic PTSD, I live with bipolar, I live with borderline personality disorder. So, I feel like I am alphabet soup over here. But it is possible to get help, and there are resources so that way you can get help. And it's something that I feel is just really important to talk about, because sometimes we all need a little bit of help to get through, and there's no shame in getting care for mental health care. Having a mental illness does not make you less of a person, and it does not mean that you're weak if you're getting help. And even those people who you probably think are just really normal might be struggling with things behind the scenes that you would never know about. Because before I started speaking up about mental health care and mental health awareness, I think a lot of the people in my life had no idea that I struggle as much as I do with things like anxiety and depression. And, when my bipolar gets pretty bad, I get some, hypomania, and that can make me make some really bad decisions, very rash decisions. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, I was able to get back into counseling, get back on a medication, and I'm doing so much better now than I was just even 6 months ago when it comes to my mental health care. So it's just, getting help does not make you bad. It doesn't make anything wrong with you. It just means that you're getting help. And that to me is extremely, extremely important. So I went ahead and shared my donation link and stuff again on my Twitch page for anyone who might be watching over here on Twitch. And if you look in the description box for this live stream on YouTube, if you're watching me on YouTube, I have the link for my fundraiser that I'm doing. I'm currently at $109. Well, I was. Let me double check that and make sure. Let's see. Yep, I'm at $109 of my $250 goal. I am still going to keep plugging that throughout the stream because it is so important to me, because this money is going to go directly towards helping people get free and reduced cost mental health care in their community. It literally funds mental health scholarships so that way people who wouldn't otherwise be able to get help, they can get help for their mental health issues. And so that to me is so incredibly important, alongside raising awareness of what it looks like to live with mental health issues. I really want to be able to use my voice, use the teeny tiny platform that I have right now to try to raise money and raise awareness for mental health issues. I had planned on going until about 7 o'clock, but it'll all depend on if we get more people and we have people asking questions. I would love to take and answer any questions you might have about what it feels like to live with mental health issues, how I get by, what my coping mechanisms are, what mental health treatment looks like for me, what counseling looks like, what sort of medications I'm on or have been on in the past. Like, I'm open to pretty much any and all questions. If I don't like it, I just want to answer. But got asked a very interesting question on my last stream, so I thought I would add that last part. Because, that one was probably a little bit inappropriate, but, it is what it is. I'll take the engagement. But, yeah, so if anybody has any questions, if you have anything you want me to talk about, until then, I'm probably just going to keep rambling, and, so give a nice little promo to Sonic, because I love their sweet tea. So good. So bad for me. So good. I've been trying to do intermittent fasting, and I had actually done it for almost 2 months straight and had done amazing. And then I started back working, and because I was off work for 6 weeks due to mental health issues. My anxiety had gotten to the point where I was having daily breakdowns. I was having pretty much daily panic attacks, which is not fun. If any of you guys have ever had a panic attack, you'll probably understand how not fun they are. But they're really, really not fun. But I took off work. I took 6 weeks of unpaid leave, and I just went back like 2.5 weeks ago. And so the last couple of weeks being back at work and having some shortage, trying to cover when people have been out on paid leave or medical issues have come up, my intermittent fasting has just gone like out the window, which really stinks because I was feeling better on it. And I was losing a little bit of weight, which wasn't my primary goal, but it was definitely a nice bonus because I know that I don't hurt as much if I am at a lower weight. But it was just, I've been trying to do the intermittent fasting, and I've been attempting to do a little bit more low carb of a lifestyle. But God, having things like my sweet tea It is so hard to give them up. If anybody has any tips or tricks on how to give up sugary things, I would love them, because I've yet to figure out how to do that. Like, that's probably the hardest thing, and the thing that gets me the most on intermittent fasting. It's not the eating things, it's the drinking things, because most of the things I like to drink outside of water are fairly sweet. Like, I put creamer and sugar in my coffee. I, used to put honey in my, hot tea, and then sweet tea in the South. You understand if you're from here. Tea is not meant to be unsweet. If you live down here anyway, that's what people would tell you. So yeah, it's been a long couple of weeks back at work. Things have been interesting. I'll just put it that way. I think my boss was on here a little bit ago. I don't know if he's still watching or not. So I can't say too many bad things, because I might get in trouble. No, I love the team that I work with, and that's the main reason why I'm still trying to work, even when it may not be the most, beneficial for my mental and physical health. Is I really, really like my team, and they're really awesome. So, yeah. Anybody got any questions for me? Anything that you'd like me to go over specifically? I will say that I have been supporting To Write Love on Her Arms, and been doing the awareness campaigns for World Suicide Prevention Day for, I would say, at least the last 3 or 4 years. I know I have, I think, 2 or 3 other t-shirts from their campaign stuff. But I've been supporting To Write Love on Her Arms since they started. I first found out about them way back in the MySpace days. So if that doesn't date me, I don't know what would. But they started out on MySpace, and it was literally a story about a girl that they were trying to help, who they wrote, this poem and stuff, or this story about them, about writing love on her arms, and they were trying to get her away from addiction and a bunch of other things, and she was struggling with her mental health so bad she didn't want to be there anymore. And so, they started trying to help her, and then out of that it has grown into this movement of trying to raise awareness about mental health issues, especially the mental health issues that teens and young adults are struggling with, because they typically are the most vulnerable and are the least able to reach out on their own for things. They're subject to a lot of, what your parents want and what your family wants, and there's sometimes very little autonomy that can be had when you're a teen or a young adult. And so I think just that organization, their purpose, the money that I'm raising for them that's going to go straight towards counseling scholarships, it means so much to me as someone who their stories and their posts back from, MySpace all the way up until now have been part of what have helped me stay here, have been part of what have helped me not end my life. I may have tried a few times, but thankfully none of them have succeeded. But the stories that they talk about, the things that they share, and the resources that they give are so vital for everyone, not even just teens and young adults. They're vital for everyone, but especially that, vulnerable group that doesn't necessarily always have the most ability to, shop around for mental health care, or even know how to reach out for that sort of thing. It's so important to me to be able to raise money for them, so that way they can keep doing this year after year, and they can just keep growing and keep helping more and more people with their message, and it's a message of love and of hope. And I think last year was Tomorrow Needs You, maybe. I don't remember. they've had a couple different ones. Oh no, You Make Today Better was last year's. I think 2 years ago was Tomorrow Needs You. So it's, you can tell kind of a theme. This year's theme is worth living for. And so they actually, in your pack, they give you a card that says, I am living for, and then you fill it out. So mine, I filled it out and I said that I am living for my cat. Which, I mean, a little bit of that is funny, but also a lot of it is true. I am living for him because I'm not going to abandon him. I'm not going to, leave him without a mom. And on some days, that is what gets me through. On some minutes, that is what gets me through, because there are times when I can't just take it a day at a time. I have to take it a minute at a time or an hour at a time, because a day seems way too long and I don't know if I can make it to the other side. And so just having something concrete that I can look at and say, I am living for Tybalt. I am living for my rotten turd butt of a cat. Makes it to where I've got something that helps me hold on for another day. Because truly, like, you do make tomorrow better. Like, I am glad that the people who are viewing me are in this world, because, like, who else would I share my story with? And so it's like, I just want everyone to know that they are loved, and, like, the world needs you in it. Like, we need you here. Whether that's to play a big role in, something monumental, or just for it to be the life that you've lived that, you get to be proud of when you leave. But, like, we need you here. We need you in this world. We need you to stay. And we want you to be able to say that you have something worth living for. And by we, I mostly mean me. But the organization does as well. But yeah, mostly I just mean me. Oh great, my rotten cat, I guess, heard his name. So, he's gonna come by for pets. You gonna come up here? Aw, here. Everybody wanna see my, oh. Well, maybe, if the webcam would stay. This is my chonkalonk. Say hi, Tybalt. Say hi. No, he doesn't want to say hi. He is a chunky boy. But this is my Tybalt. He also would like you to stay and would like you to be in this world and wants you to know that you are very loved. With all of his chunkiness, he still believes that. Alright, Chunky, you gotta get down now. And now my black t-shirt is covered in cat hair. Woo! Why they have to make everything like black t-shirts, I don't understand. They must not have pets or something, because come on. But yeah, I may have to let him out. So give me just 1 minute. I will be right back. I promise. Come on. Go. Go. Yay, I'm back. Hopefully I don't lose too many people there. Had to go let my cat out. Apologies for that. But I was just going to ask again if anybody had any questions, anybody had anything specific they'd like me to share about. I would love to share. Would love to interact with you guys and get to hear a little bit about you guys. If you have anything that you've struggled with mental health, or with anything really, like, did you have a good day today? A bad day today? I had a pretty cruddy day. Like I said, I've been back at work now for about 2.5 weeks, and it's still been pretty rough. And today was a very heavy brain fog day. Like, I felt like I was swimming around in like a murky pond trying to do things at work today. and like I went to submit a change request for something, and it took me like 5 times of editing it before it was finally correct so that I could submit it. It was so bad. Like normally I'm that person that can multitask and I can do multiple things, several things at once and get things done quickly, and that was not me today. That was not the me from today at all. I had very low spoons today. Like just no spoons left. But that was pretty much my day, just the monotony of work and the fun that is. I am in some special training at work, and I got a little bit of recognition for apparently being the only one that actually completed a lot of the training stuff that we're doing, which is always really awkward. I know people would be probably like, oh wow, you got recognition, and for me it's like, no, that means people are paying attention to me. I'm scared. Now I'm gonna be that kid who wrecked the curve or whatever. Like that was always me in school. It was like, oh, we had a good curve until Chris was there, and then she wrecked the curve because she got too high of a score. Yeah. Wonder why I would have trouble with attention when that's how things were presented to me as a child. Never really thought about that before. But if anybody has anything at all they want to share, anything they want me to talk about, and anything they want to add, I will go ahead and plug my fundraiser again, because that's the whole reason why I'm on here right now. It's the reason why I'm streaming. For these days anyway. I might decide to keep streaming after this. I'm still not sure. Being live is intimidating still. Like, I'm still getting used to it. As you can tell, I don't have the best camera setup and stuff either. I'm using my roommate's very, fairly old webcam. It doesn't even have 1080 capabilities. It's only got 720 HD. And it's like my iPhone is more powerful than that, but it's a pain in the butt to try to stream from your phone. So, was not going to try to do that. But yeah, if you guys think that I would be good at streaming, like if you would be interested in keeping on watching me streaming, you should let me know that too, because that would be awesome to know. So yeah, just, let me know. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. I'm going to come over here back to my settings. I'm still trying to make sure that my internet doesn't totally go cray-cray like it did a little bit ago. It just completely derped out on me. Still not quite sure what happened there. But, looks like we're coming up on 50 minutes of streaming. That's not too horrible, is it? I would, like I said, love to promote my fundraiser and being able to support To Write Love on Her Arms with their counseling scholarships that they're providing this year. It would just be really amazing. Yeah, it looks like their total goal for this year's campaign, which will end tomorrow, since tomorrow is actually World Suicide Prevention Day. Their goal was to raise $250,000, and currently they've raised $170,000 of that $250,000, which is pretty darn good, and I think it's pretty amazing. So I am hopeful and excited that my tiny, tiny little contribution to that will help, fund at least a few scholarships for people. I want people to be able to find help, and I want them to be able to know that there is hope and there is light out there. Even on your darkest days, there is still light. Like, there is light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. But yeah, it's something that's so important to me. Just, being able to raise awareness for mental health and not treating it like a taboo topic that you can't talk about. Which is how I normally see it done, is, most people don't think it's something that we can talk about, and they try to, hide the S word, don't say the suicide word because, you might just trigger someone to go do it. When instead, what needs to be happening is we need to be having these open and honest conversations about the fact that we struggle with it. Like, there are still days today, even, when things are not near that dire for me anymore, like they have been in the past. I still have really rough moments. I still have really rough days. I have times when sometimes I can't hardly find that light, and I can't find that reason to keep going. But thankfully, I have, some really great people in my life to help me, kind of come back from the ledge when I'm like that. But, and I'm in counseling, and that helps. But it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to even have, a bad few months. It doesn't mean that it's going to be like that forever, though. And, like, if anyone in the world is an example of that, it would definitely be me. I have been through so much in my life already, and I'm only 32. So, like, I've been through so many ups and downs, a lot of downs. I've been through, some fairly traumatic stuff. I've been through some very painful stuff. And the fact that I am still here, and I'm still living, and I'm still trying to make a go at this crazy thing we call life is just proof that there is hope, and that it is possible to keep going. Like, it's worth it to keep going. And so it's like, what is it for me? What is worth living for is, the life that I've created right now. I'm trying really hard to raise awareness for chronic mental and physical health issues with my YouTube channel and my Instagram account and my Twitter and my Facebook page. And those things may seem kind of superficial, they may seem silly, but right now they are what gives me a sense of purpose, a sense of, that I am actually doing something that might be helpful in the world. And that little bit is enough right now. But before I had that, I had friends, and before I had that, I had my cats, or my cat. And so just finding even those little tiny things that might seem kind of insignificant, but being able to laugh at a cat meme someday, that's been what's kept me going. Just having someone send me a funny gif or a funny cat meme, and then I get to laugh at it and just forget that everything sucks for at least a few minutes. And that's been what's gotten me through. So, like, a lot of the times whenever my anxiety is really bad, or whenever I'm having like a really hard time with things, a lot of times I will craft. Like, that's one of my biggest coping mechanisms. It was actually suggested to me by a doctor whenever I was in college. At the time, I used to like to do puzzles, but now with cats, like, that's just not possible. My cat and my roommate's cat would just have the puzzles all on the floor in about 2 seconds. But what I do now is I have a variety of different crafts that I do. I have cross stitch and crochet and knitting and adult coloring books. Recently, I've started a bullet journal. So just all of those little things that, don't really seem like anything. They're enough to just occupy my mind, just enough to where I'm not focusing on how bad things are. And that usually can help get me through. It can help get me through a really bad day or a really bad moment. And so it's like, I would say, if you're having more bad days than good, reach out for help. Like, you can reach out to me directly. I don't mind. Like, I will help you find help. Like, I just want people to know that they're loved, and that people want them here, and I want you here. I want you to stay. And so the more awareness I can bring to that, the happier I'll be in my life. If anybody wants to donate, I will plug my fundraiser one more time before I'm going to probably jump off here for a bit. I might try to get back on and stream a bit again later, see if I can get a few more people on here. But if not, then I would love to invite you to donate to my fundraiser. If you're watching me on YouTube, that is going to mean going to my description box and clicking the link in there and donating there. And if you're watching on Twitch, which I don't know that anybody is, but if you are, then here is how you can give money and donate to the fundraiser. None of this money comes to me. Like, I don't want it, even if it did come to me. it goes to fund counseling scholarships. To Write Love on Our Arms is an amazing organization, and they use this money to help fund their Find Help tool, which is actually how I found the counseling center that I'm at right now, and to fund counseling scholarships to help people be able to get free or reduced cost mental health services in their communities, which is something that I will always, always, always try to give money to and try to help support as much as possible. So like I said, I'm definitely just trying to use like the little small platform that I have to try to get, raise awareness and funding for mental health issues. And so that way people will know where to go and how to go get help for their mental health. All right, y'all, it's coming up on 7 o'clock here in a couple minutes. I'll probably go ahead and end my stream here for now. But thank you for anybody who stopped by and watched, and I shall catch y'all later. Bye.